What's good, Panther Nation? It's your boy, Myron McRae, a.k.a. Tornado McRae, across the skies of the internet, here with another episode of Panther Pride TV. Your one-stop shop for all your Panther notifications and your Panther obligations. And happy Tuesday to all of y'all. Hope y'all are having a great Tuesday. If your birthday was yesterday, happy birthday to you. I did see that in the comment section, so I hope y'all had a great birthday. I know somebody in the comment section, hold up, let me make sure, because I saw it in the comments, and I want to make sure. Oh, where'd it go? So Paul Lennon, tell your daughter happy birthday. Hope she had a great birthday yesterday. And guys, let's go ahead and get into this docket and talk about a few things. First things first, Canales has spoken on Jimmy Horn's status this week. And here's what Canales had to say. He says, yeah, we'll get to see Jimmy Horn this week. He's got a great opportunity. We're excited about it and want to make sure he's able to go out there and give us significant reps. And we'll carve out a role because there's certainly things he can bring to our offense with his speed and ability to carry the ball and make yards. So I'm excited for Jimmy to get the opportunity this week. Nani? It's almost like he finally heard the fans and everybody else on the team to finally get Jimmy in the game. Or maybe it's because of the injuries have happened and we barely have any receivers. Either way, I'm happy to see that Jimmy's finally going to get some burn and get some PT because he deserves it, and I think Jimmy will do just fine. I'm not expecting Jimmy to go out there and put up like a 175 type of day or anything like that, but just having him on the field and having his dynamics will make it more appealing to just the offense in general, spaces the field out a whole lot better, and I think just adds another layer to the offense. So that could be phenomenal, and I'm looking forward to that. And I'm just, long story short, it's about damn time. It's about damn time, man. So shout outs to Jimmy Horn and getting some playing time this week, and I'm really excited for that. Number two, and I did want to speak on this because I talked about it yesterday, and the moment was when Charles Smith-Wade tried to punch the ball out from Hunter Henry when he could have just tackled him. And remember I told y'all the execution and the teaching and tackling a few weeks ago, like right before the season started, about Avero and teaching them to wrap up. And it's like, hey, yo, we're going back to the basics and the fundamentals and things like that. So check out this quote in regards, because they asked Canales about that moment of Charles Smith-Wade punching the ball out. And here's what Canales had to say about that. He said, we teach first guys in got to make the tackle. Second guy, look to punch the ball out. We make sure we secure the tackle first before we go make an attempt at the ball right there. So I'd love to see him, put his shoulder on him, a right shoulder tackle right there. Knock him out of bounds, and we'll keep playing football. Nani? So that's where I have an issue because, again, I've always felt as though everybody go wrap up. Like, I'm not taking first guy tackle, second guy comes and punches the ball out. I'm securing the tackle first. And then if somebody has the opportunity to punch the ball out, then obviously. And even in that situation, Charles Smith-Wade was the first guy going to make the tackle because Hunter Henry was in stride and only J.C. Horn was behind him. So I don't know what's being taught, at least in the secondary level, in that moment. And maybe he just had a lapse in judgment. I don't want to put that too much on Charles Smith-Wade, and I think this is more of a coaching aspect. And it's like, if you teach everybody, hey, yo, we are gang tackling, everybody wrapping up, and if we can get the strip, we get it. But no, first, second, third, everybody wrap up. That's honestly how I feel it should be taught. But again, that's just me. I don't know, bro. I just thought that was quite interesting. Quite interesting to say the least. And then thirdly, time for your Panther Pride Fantasy League updates. And your boy finally got a win this week. So Skinny with 2 tats. Ha! Ha ha! Oh, I'm sorry, man. I've been 0-3, bro. So I had to get that off. But got your Panther Pride Fantasy updates. And here are the records now as of week 4. So you have the Bryce is right, Leave Our Mark, Down Since 95, and Go Getters are 3-1. Horn Hub, Skinny with 2 tats, T-Mac Tutties, Better Call Hall, and your damn Skippy are 2-2. Renfro Re-Up, and the Legend of Zelda are 1-3. We're finally 1-3. And then S2 is dropped to 0-4. And to follow that up, the power rankings right now are Go Getters has jumped up to number 1. Horn Hub remains at number 2. The Bryce is Right drops to 3. Levi Martin goes up to 4. Down since 95 stays at 5. Skinny with 2 tats moves up to 6. T-Mac Tutties drops to 7. Your Damn Skippy moves up to 8. Better Call Hall moves up to 9. Renfro Re-Up drops down to 10. Legend of Zelda moves up to 11. And S2 drops to 12, man. So those are our current status and our current power rankings. So hopefully, everything continues to change and the Legend of Zelda can get off the snide, man. Like, I'm so happy about it. And time for our Panther freeze frame of the day. And it's shout out to Mitchell Evans, bro. I wanted to give Mitchell Evans a shout out because I'm happy for him, happy to see him get some love and whatnot. And I saw him get his catch. I said, yeah, let the big man work. Let the big man work. But lastly, guys, it is time for your favorite section. Time for Panther Nation. Speak your truth, all right? Let's get into this comment section, see what some of y'all had to say. And the first comment comes from Jarman369. He says, how embarrassing more so for you? You keep thinking Panthers have turned the corner. Why don't you see what we see, what most of us see? We suck. D-line sucks, linebacker sucks, safety sucks, O-line sucks, QB sucks, coaching sucks, GM sucks, owner sucks. I'm not being negative, I'm being real. You're being real. All right. Well, considering that you said Xavier sucks, I don't see why. All right. Honestly, and I'm going to say this, and this is why. Because I've been a part of teams that have sucked. My high school career, my first 3 years, we won one game each season. And then my senior season, nothing had changed. Honestly, the core just got better. The core group of my senior high school season was still the same from my freshman year. Same 15 guys. And we made it to the semifinal of the championship round. And had anybody told you prior to that, oh, y'all suck, and like, y'all not going to make the playoffs, there, blase, and we believed it, we wouldn't have did what we did. So, I see the potential. I've told y'all, I see potential. I've told you, I see the glimpses and the glimmers. And to me, at this point, it's just consistency. We'll have one drive where we're consistently good, and the next 2 will be bad. Then the next 2 will be decent. Then the next 3 will be bad. And we're not consistent enough. Defense. We have one game where we play phenomenal. Next game we play trash. One game we do great. Next game we do trash. We're not consistent. And I honestly think that's being negative because you're sitting there saying, oh, the GM sucks, the owner sucks, coach sucks, quarterback sucks, O-line sucks, linebacker sucks, safety sucks, D-line sucks. The only thing you didn't list was the running backs, the wide receivers, and the corners. Last time I checked, we have more corners than just JC Horn. Corner play wasn't great. We have more receivers than Tedero McMillan. Like we haven't had drops on good passes. We have more running backs than Chuba Hubbard. Like we didn't have Miles Sanders who sucked. So to me, if you're going to say that we all suck at all facets, those count too. But I don't see what you see because I've seen how teams can turn stuff around. I've seen Carolina lose games they shouldn't lose. I've seen Carolina win games they shouldn't win. I've seen Carolina get to places. I've seen them get to a Super Bowl they shouldn't have got to. And I've seen them lose a divisional round that they shouldn't have lost. I've seen it all. But one thing you're not going to shake on me is my faith and belief that something can change. And shout out to this young man, Logan Potter, who wished me a happy birthday yesterday. And I told him, the best part about starting the season like this is you have time to bounce back. Imagine if we started hot and then we just fizzled out and missed the playoffs because after starting 5-1, 6-1, or whatever. So yeah, I'm looking at it glass half full. You want to say I'm delusional? You want to say I'm not in the realm of reality because I look at the potential of what could change and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I see exactly what you see on the paper. I see what you see on the film. But you know what I also see? I see the opportunities that were missed, and I'm like, all right, bro, just hit that opportunity next time. You're right there. It's there. The opportunities are there. Defensively, they're there. Just do it next time. So I'm not going to sit there and just automatically spew, yep, we suck. There's no point. Go ahead, chalk up the season before we even lost. Before we've even played, I'm not doing that. I'm never going to do that. I'm going to play the game, give myself a chance. And if we lose, we lose. But at least I gave myself a chance. You want to chalk up the season? Go ahead. I'm not doing that. If that's what you're expecting out of me, you're not getting that. Number 2 comes from John Dolph the Gray. Says, whole team is ass, included. And besides, if he's going to be one of the greats at QB, he's going to have to pull a W out of his ass from time to time despite pressure and people not getting open. Talking about Bryce. Once again, not every time, but once in a while, he's got to make it happen despite the adversity. He couldn't do it with Arizona or Jacksonville, and with Atlanta, they really had to do anything because the Falcons literally made every mistake possible, and it's a game that should be like 50-0, LOL. You know what? And this is a league that's just like, oh, what have you done for me lately? He didn't do it against Jacksonville. He didn't do it against Arizona. But it was all on him. And that's, if you've seen the movie Him, that's kind of the way society treats QBs. But it's real toxic with this fandom. It's like, oh, when you win, you get all the glory. But what's crazy is even when we win, Bryce doesn't get all the glory. Even when we win, Bryce isn't the reason why we won. When we lose, Bryce is always the reason we lose. For a lot of people. And I find that interesting. But, hey, Atlanta did make a lot of mistakes, so I cannot deny that. And then number 3, honestly, I think this is the best comment to explain everything. This comes from DCI Fanatic. He says, the people saying this all Bryce's fault are wrong. But the unique thing about the franchise quarterback position is that if you're not the solution for at least a handful of things for the team, you're part of the problem. To me, it's not that I think Bryce is a problem. I just don't see how he provides very many solutions for a team that desperately needs them. And in a lot of ways, he's restricting what the offense can do as a whole. He wasn't the reason we lost last week, but was a big part of why we lost the first 2 games. I think I've seen enough Bryce tape to know who he is, and I just don't see a long-term franchise. I could see him being a journeyman or career backup somewhere, but it is a far cry from the first overall expectations we have for him. He can't stay here because he'll never be accepted as just an average quarterback. His expectations are number 1 overall trade to get me. I mean, fair assessment, and I'm saying this at this point. For Bryce's sake, I really do hope. At one point, if Carolina gets rid of him, I hope he goes to a situation where he balls out and honestly wins the Super Bowl. I really do. Because to me, that's part of the whole situation where I keep saying people want that instant turnaround right now. It's like, oh, he's number 1 trade overall. He's got to ball out right now, even if he has nothing. And people saying, oh, I've seen enough tape right now. I don't think he's good enough I think he's going to be a journeyman. Like, Drew Brees wasn't doing phenomenal in he was doing solid in San Diego for sure, but was a whole lot better when he got to New Orleans after his shoulder injury. Baker Mayfield's done a whole lot better since his days in Cleveland and in Carolina. Y'all keep bringing up Sam Darnold doing better in Minnesota, even though Sam Darnold was on his last leg after New York. So sometimes, yeah, getting out of a certain fan base and a certain franchise, it is it. But to sit there and blame Bryce for everything, and Bryce can't fix everything. He can't fix everything, but he gets blamed as though he can fix everything. But that is a fair assessment. And if you feel you've seen enough tape, hey, I respect it. I don't think I have, but that's just me. And the reason why I haven't is because, like I've told y'all, the man's had 3 coaches in 3 years. He was benched for half his season last year. So he hasn't even played a full 16 games under Canales up until, well, no. Now he has. Because he had 2 and then. So he's now got a full 16 games. So full 16, 17 games. One full season of games under Canales' coaching. Half a season of Frank Reich and then whoever our interim was. So, you tell me, if one full season under one coach, 17 games, if that's enough to warrant and get you traded away after one full season of one coach and one consistent system, if that's enough take for you to sit there and be like, yep, I've seen enough, he's not it, then we just differ on that because there's no way I'm thinking that. Yes, Bryce has been in the league for 3 years, but when we look at the entirety of it, do you think Brady in his first 3 years would have survived off of 3 head coaches and only having one for a full 16, 17 games? I would even go Brady because a lot of you hold Brady in a high regard. Johnny Manziel didn't survive like that. Do you think Cam would have survived had we just got rid of Rivera after his first year? After his first year and went with another coach and then another coach? Would Jake Delhomme have survived if we had gotten rid of John Fox after the first year and went with another coach and then another coach? Halfway through. Do we genuinely think these QBs would survive and do this stuff? That's my question, bro. And that's why that is honestly the reason why I put Bryce in a higher regard, or not even in a higher regard. I'm trying to give him the grace to finish this full season out. Once he has 2 full years or 2.5 or 1.5, whatever it comes out to be, and I want to say it'll be about 1 2/3, or at least a consistent amount of time under Canales in this system, then I can say, yes, I've seen enough. But because our franchise started in behind the 8 ball so badly anyways, I can't, in good faith and good conscience and fairness, say Bryce is the complete problem. And you want to bring up Andy Dalton, like Andy Dalton didn't start to suck under this same system last year. Andy Dalton came in, yes, and won us the game against New Orleans. Whoop-de-doo. The same way y'all said how we beat Atlanta. Whoop-de-doo. And then by the time Andy came back in, Andy was starting to suck just as bad as Bryce. But we forget about that, right? We forget about that. But because Andy Dalton was a proven vet, and that's the benefit of being the backup, you come in and you throw a touchdown, all of a sudden you look like the immediate relief answer. That's how Jake Delhomme got his starting spot. That's how Brady got his starting spot. So, hey, you know what? There may be some truth to it. Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. But I got to go, guys. So that's all I have for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell at the bottom so you can always be reminded when these videos drop it. Next, comment below and let me know. What are your thoughts on Jimmy Horn finally getting some playtime this week? Do you think it's the coach's teachings or it's the execution as to why our defense is the way it is? And comment below how you feel about Fantasy League so far on these updates. Do y'all enjoy these updates or not? And everything else in between. Because at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with 2 tats. Peace. Much love to all you Panther Nation. Take care. Later days, as always, keep pounding. I'll see you next time.